Hello everyone, hope everything's fine with you. I'm Hisham Said, Forex trader and mentor since 2012. And in this video, I'm going to cover the movement we see in the Forex market, especially on US dollar, US oil, and on gold. Now, let's jump to charts, or actually before jumping to charts, let's look at the economic calendar. So we know that last week, the Federal Bank in US basically decreased the interest rate by 0.5, which we could see how it impacted the market and how it even pushed the gold even higher. This week, actually, it's quite busy week in the market as we see from economic calendar perspective. So Monday, which was yesterday, we had a lot of news in Euro, some on GBP, and also in USD, which by the way was negative news in USD. And then Tuesday, today, we had some news for Australian dollar, some for Japanese yen, and also we had news on US dollar, which also was negative. As we can see, the CB consumer confidence, which was negative. And basically we also had some news on the CAD. Tomorrow, I would say it's less busy day in the market when it comes to fundamentals. So we have only some news on the Australian dollar. On Thursday, again, we have some news on the Swiss franc, USD, and we also have Fed Chair Powell speaks. And on Friday, we have some news on Canadian dollar and US dollar. Okay, now let's jump to chart. And I would like to start with this chart on the top left here. So this is a weekly time frame, and for everyone basically who knows me and follow my videos and just follow the videos which I'm making, you understand what are these levels. Basically, I call them as psychological levels, and these levels are quite strong, and you will see that when price, basically these levels acting as resistance and support, it depends where the price is for these levels. As you can see, when price break above this level, which is here 95, price came to retest, price broke above here, didn't come to retest so far, and that's why this is an open level so far for us. Yeah, price broke above here, came to retest, price broke above here, broke below, came to retest. As you can see, let me show you here. So price broke above, came to retest, broke below, retest, and then above, price broke above here, came to retest, etc., etc. The monthly and weekly levels are stronger than daily and 4-hour. Anyway, what I want to say here is that right now price is actually at a very strong area, which is like highlighted in red. We can see that here price found a strong rejection, here again a couple of times, here where basically price came here to collect all the liquidity below these 2 points, price came here again, showed some rejection, and right now price coming for this point again, and it's also a very psychological level, which is basically 100. So it's a very, very strong and very important support zone. Now, let's leave this chart and let's go to basically this chart here. Also, for some of you following me, you know already what are these, let's say, rectangles or zones. In general, red zones are monthly zones, yellow are weekly, and the green ones, when we go to daily time frame, these are daily ones. Always remember, the higher the time frame, the stronger it is. So it means that red zones are basically the strongest out of them all. Yellow is then less than, red one, and the green one basically is the weakest one out of them all. And when you have two zones together, like in this case where we have red and yellow, which is monthly and weekly, so that means that it's a very, very, very strong zone. And you can see how it is right now. Price here showed rejection as resistance, price broke above, came to retest, price broke below, came to retest, again resistance, price broke above. You can see how even price was reacting toward this yellow one, support, 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 support. Price broke below and didn't come to retest this zone, so this is an open zone for us. Very similar story to this zone down here, which is this one here. Let me stretch it like that. So we can see that here we have red and yellow, which is monthly and weekly. And we can see that the price broke above and here came close to retest, but didn't come inside this zone. And believe me, these zones are very strong, and I would say I would expect price to come to retest this zone. And actually, the recent price action shows that we are kind of close for it to come. Also keep in mind that here, this this horizontal line, it's 2023 year low. So as we know, and I believe as you know already if you're in the Forex market for some time, price, I would say most of the time, more than 90% of the time, come to retest any level or any significant level at least twice, And so far, this level was tested, let's say, once. So I would expect that we might see price to come down here. And let's look at it from weekly time frame. Again, guys, we see that here, price broke below, above. Here it was holding as support. Price broke below, didn't come to retest, but we have this level here where basically, price broke above. Here came to retest, it failed, but then we could see resistance, 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 and price start to move to the downside. And for me, it looks like that we might see price coming down below to test this area here. Okay, you see these dotted lines which are in red, and these are the last week high and last week low. And in general, keep in mind one thing: if we're going to see a price to move significantly, and in that case in particular, most probably price will come to liquidate the opposite side. What do I mean by that? That here, if price meant to move to the upside, most probably we see price will come to liquidate the last week low before moving to the upside. And for me, it's also nice because down below here, apart that we have here the last week low, but also we have here this zone which I just talked about. So it just increases the likelihood that the price might come to the downside before moving to the upside, if any. So always keep in mind that we work on some scenarios. Now moving to daily time frame. So basically we have here support, support, price broke below, came to retest as resistance, broke above, came to retest support, 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 price broke below, and so far we can see that since Monday last week, price is just creating on daily time frame just like we are in a range. Okay, now let's go to this chart here, and we are basically here on weekly time frame. I'm just showing how we are in the bigger picture starting from November 2022. Okay, so this is almost, guys, 2 years. It's always good to look at the bigger picture. Okay, what we see here is that since 2022, the DXY is just moving inside a range, as you can see here, just all the time inside this range. And what do we know about ranges? That most of the time, there are always fake outs. When it comes to ranges, keep that in mind that we always see fake outs. And I remember last year, I put post on my Instagram account where I did tell to the guys in my community that here we saw the fake out, and basically we would expect to see a fake out very similar to it to the opposite side. Back then to this time, it was like that. Okay, because we were basically here. Yeah. So what I did, and I told them, and this is something which I do teach to the guys in my community, that we can expect just taking it by copy paste. Okay, if you will put it to the other side, you will see that most of the time, the fake out will happen to the opposing direction in a very similar size. Okay, this is basically how ranges are working, and this is one thing to keep in mind. And I made a full lesson of how you can trade ranges. In general, right now we are in this range, and as we can see, and keeping in mind that we have fake outs, we can see still this zone here, which I did talk about on the other chart, that most probably price will come to basically liquidate and move to the downside. Now moving to daily time frame. Okay, what I want us to focus on daily time frame is basically this point here, which is a very significant and strong point where we could see price moving to the upside. And right now, if we zoom in here, guys, you see this level is kind of most of the time price didn't manage to close with the body of the candle below this turquoise dotted line. But with the current daily candle, It looks like that price might close, but we have to wait for the daily candle closure before basically decide what to do next. But just as a hypothetical scenario, if price is going to close with a daily candle, just with a strong closure, with body of the candle, I would expect that maybe, and this is the thing which I will be looking for with my community, basically to wait for the retest and then move to the downside toward this zone. Okay, what do I mean by that? That I would wait for the retest to confirm that this zone here is really broken, okay, and this is not a fake out. And then from here, I will be looking for opportunities to sell US dollar versus other countries, versus other currencies, and I will be targeting, like, this zone down here. So this is one thing to keep in mind, guys, for DXY. Last is, let's move here, and just like this is on 4 hours time frame, I was showing how basically price is just like, moving inside the range again on 4 hours time frame. Actually, 4 hours, yeah, 4 hours time frame. We can see here that price is just like moving inside the range. We can see some wicks or tails to the upside and to the downside, but the body of the candle all the time closing inside this range. So it will be very important to see how this last 4 hour candle of the day and also the daily candle is going to close. If it will close below, I would say that maybe tomorrow I will be looking for opportunity, for the, if it will close, let's say below, I will wait for the opportunity for a test and then sell the DXY, as I did mention. It's always very important, guys, always very important to keep in mind what's happening with USD. USD is the most dominant currency in the world, and I would highly advise you to always start your weekly analysis, your top-down analysis, always start with USD. What happens with USD influences the rest of currencies in the market. Now let's move to oil. Oil, here we have these psychological levels, and again it's very easy, I would say, for oil. It's always like every $5, as you can see. Yeah, and again you will see that when price just break above or below one of these levels will come to retest. Just example here, here price break above, didn't come to retest, but when it came to retest here, it failed and broke below, retesting, and as you can see, just moving, so you could sell from here, etc. Price broke above, came to retest, price broke below here, came to retest nicely, and then you can see that basically oil, I personally try to avoid it, I don't know, for the last 6 months because of what is happening around the globe. Oil is highly influenced by all, let's say, geopolitical wars, any political decisions, etc. But it will be good just to have a look at it. Especially, I would say we should look at this chart. It will be good to look at, and on weekly time frame. So all these zones are very important, but I want to focus on this one, that here we have support. Price broke below. I would say it will be ideal if price will come to retest this zone before selling. Especially, I'm looking for opportunity to sell US oil, but in general, I would say I would even, cut the risk by half. So if I risk 1% per trade for oil with the current condition in the market, and around the globe as well, I would even minimize it to 0.5 or even 0.3, because what I told you of, like, all these geopolitical situations, etc. But also, if we move to daily time frame, we can see that also we have this zone here, okay, and I would say it's very close to this yellow zone. So it will be ideal if price will just come somewhere here, and then from here I will be looking for opportunity to sell. Especially, as I said, about this dotted line, the red ones, this is the last week high, last week low, and we can see that so far price, liquidated this zone, but still I would wait a little bit for the price to come here before selling. And that's basically what I want to look at on oil, and also this chart here. So we can see that we have this channel, and we can see that here we have, this touch of the trend line We have another touch here, couple of them. Let me just do it maybe that way. So we have here, 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 here. For me, it will be ideal if price will come to basically take out this high, and then I will be looking for opportunity to sell. Once price will break above this high, liquidated, and I must see liquidation, so I must see the price action, okay, then I might look for opportunity to basically sell. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If we see here, guys, here, for example, this one, what happened? So price came here, took out this high with a strong bullish engulfing candle, okay, and then start to move to the downside. So for me right now, I would like to see similar situation here, and also price to print another touch for the trend line, and then I will start to move to lower time frame, and then I will be really waiting to see. And okay, right now, even when we move to this lower time frame, we can see that we have perfect double top. That means that there is a lot of stop losses above here. And from market psychology perspective, price loves such cases because a lot of people are already selling from here. Okay, sorry, a lot of people are already selling. Let's say they have their stop losses somewhere here, or even they can be selling from here. Like if you're a good trader, you might catch this one from lower time frame, but a lot of people will see this one, and then they will start to sell after this candle. Okay, and what I would say from my experience, that price will come to basically liquidate this one, if any, and then price basically, start to move to the downside, if any. But as I said, we need to see price action. Okay, and also looking at this, so from market structure point of view, we can see at least, I don't know, higher low, higher high, higher low, or even let's say look at it from 4 hours time frame. So from 4 hours time frame, we can see that we have higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Probably this is a higher low, and then we will see what will happen here. But again, I'm really into trying to catch a sell opportunity, if any, but again, I need to see what will happen here, especially we have a lot of stop losses above these 2 points here. So this one, I just need to keep an eye on, and basically I will decide what to do next. And here, just last one, and this is on weekly time frame, we are inside a wedge pattern. And what we know also about the wedge patterns, or triangle, name it whatever you want to name, that we have a lot of fake outs. And usually what you can see, guys, we have this point here, which is second touch of the trend line, ascending trend line. What happened? Price broke below this trend line, but didn't break the trend. At least price respecting this second touch of the trend line, as you can see. Yeah, so ideal scenario for me, what I am trying to catch here, if any, again, because I told you I really try to avoid oil, but maybe price to come somewhere here, and then I will try to catch the move to the downside, if any. Okay, so this is one thing to keep in mind about what will happen in oil. Okay, so now let's move to gold. Especially, I don't want to make this video very long, it's already 20 minutes. So for gold, I don't want to talk about a lot of charts, just a couple of them. So first one, we already know that gold breaks all-time highs, okay? And the most important on this chart, which I believe you can see some of the videos already on YouTube, and the rest is on my website, that I did talk about these psychological levels. Again, it's every $50. And what you see, guys, that every level, let's say, price broke above this level, came to retest. 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 Broke above this level, that was like 2 weeks ago, came to retest. Broke above this level, didn't come to retest. So What I would do, I would just take this one. Oops. I will just take this one and I will just put it here for this one. And what are these yellow arrows? These are levels, I'm sorry, arrows for levels where basically price broke above and didn't come to retest so far. You see, even on daily time frame, guys, you see how price respected these levels nicely here. As you can see, price broke above, came to retest, broke above, came to retest nicely, some fake out here, broke above, came to retest nicely here, broke above, didn't come to retest. Okay, so just a minute, let me put this one on daily time frame. Okay, and price broke above this one, this level, which is 2600, and didn't come to retest so far. And we can see that price right now, in the time when I'm recording this video, is breaking above the 2650. Why? Because we can see right now a sell-off happening on USD, and therefore the opposite will be happening to gold, which is moving to the upside. If we will see US dollar moving to the upside, so gold will move to the downside. And this is in general the correlation which we have between, it's an inverse correlation which we have between US dollar and gold, even though I would say recently this correlation, it's not that strong as it used to be before, but this is just a rule of thumb and one thing to keep in mind. Okay, so all these levels which are highlighted in yellow arrows, these are levels where basically price broke above the level and didn't come to retest as support. And for me, these are future levels, you know, where basically price might come to retest. I'm not saying that we will see that happening this year, even though I believe like if Trump is going to win the election in November, I would expect we might see, or the likelihood of seeing gold moving to the downside is increasing if, you know, Trump is going to win the election. The important also chart for me is this one. So we can see this channel where we have like first touch, second touch, and here first touch. And right now price is approaching this point here, you know, second touch. And I really would love to see how price is going to react toward this point here. Like for me, it's very important to see how the weekly candle is going to react here. Are we going to see some rejection or not? Especially also we can see that we have, for example, here a strong, you know, point where price was showing, you know, resistance, 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 resistance. Price broke above, didn't come to retest. So I would love to, if from here we can find a sell opportunity and then look for buy opportunity, if any. Okay, because keep in mind that the smart trade is to buy because the overall trend is moving to the upside. Also here we have a very strong resistance. As we can see, resistance, resistance, resistance. Price broke above, didn't come to retest as support. And for me, this one is quite interesting because as we can see here, also we have first touch of this trend line, the blue one. Second touch is here, okay? And third touch is somewhere, you can see if it will happen, we might see price coming all the way down here and then continue the move to the upside, if any. But I know it's, how to say, quite risky to sell it right now, to sell gold. And that's why, in general, what I do and also what I teach to my students, that if you're going to move or if you're going to find a trade against the trend, minimize your risk by 50%. So, in general, if I risk 1% per trade, for this trade, if I'm going to sell gold, I will risk only 0.5. And if I'm going to find any opportunity to buy gold, whatever from here or from here, I will be risking 1%. Okay, and this is part of my trading plan, my risk management, and basically this is a thing which also I do teach to my students. Okay, so that's all guys for this video. I just want to give a quick update, and also I would highly recommend you that you can, you know, visit my website, you can register a free account, and with a free account you have a lot of free material. All guys, if you have any questions, please let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And as I said, you can find a lot of free materials, free videos on my website www.eltaajir.com. I also made a free crypto series about 15 crypto tokens where basically I am going personally to invest in, and I call it as affordable investment opportunity with a low risk and high potential return, because for each token I'm going to invest $100 only. If I basically lose this $100, so it's nothing, because usually we spend this $100 in some dinner or so, but the potential for returns, it's minimum around like 6 to 700%. Okay, so I created this series. It's completely free. All what you need is to create a free account on Eltaajir website and you can watch these videos. I did talk about all areas where I'm going to buy from, areas where I'm going to sell at, with a full plan about these tokens. That's all guys for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Cheers.